Welcome to the Cookeville First United Methodist Church Jobs Ministry training video for case managers. If you're watching this, you hopefully have already watched the introductory video to the Jobs Ministry as well as the resource volunteer video. This video is intended to talk to the folks who are kind of the heart and soul of the Jobs Ministry. As I have on the screen here, the Jobs Ministry is a connection of case managers and resource volunteers designed to efficiently and consistently deliver help and support to our clients. Some words about case managers. You are the link between clients and resources, between the folks who come to us for help and those resource volunteers who can actually offer that help. Again, sometimes you may be both case manager and resource volunteer, but this is the way the ministry is designed to work. You're the face of our long-term support. We tell a lot of our clients that we're going to help you in the short term by giving you resources and access to folks who can help you with resumes, with how to dress for an interview, with practicing interviews. But then we're going to help you by just being present and walking alongside you and your family as you walk through that at times difficult and dark valley of unemployment until you find that work that is best suited for you and your family. So case managers, you are the face of that long-term support. Also, case managers understand the whole process. You have a more global perspective of what we're doing. You know what resources are out there and how we can help, also how we aren't able to help. And you help guide our clients through this process so that they get access to exactly what they need. Case managers are willing to have multiple interactions with our clients for the purpose of encouragement, follow-up, and success. It begins with a conversation and a discussion of what a client needs, and then the interactions aren't over until hopefully that client has received a job. And so you folks do that work of encouraging, following up, and looking forward to success. You also, as case managers, report the results of your work to our team leader. You will have typically long-term engagement with a few specific clients. A resource volunteer might see 5 to 10 different clients over a month or two. During that same period, you as a case manager will have 2 or 3 clients that you work with over the course of a month or 2 or 3 as they try to find work. As is the case with resource volunteers and pretty much everybody involved with the Jobs Ministry, you set up your own meetings as your schedule will allow. That's just how it has to work for all of us, and that is fine. Your process as a case manager follows that flow chart that hopefully you've seen. It's on the website if you need to look at it again or print a copy of it out, but I'm going to walk you through that process. As we begin to look at it, imagine yourself as a coach, walking and working with someone, moving through a process of growth and learning about him or herself. First thing that happens, you receive a referral from me or from a team leader or someone in the Jobs Ministry. They let you know, hey, we have a yellow card here. Someone needs a phone call. They need some help, and can we do it? And so you'll make that initial contact, initiate a first meeting with that new client, talk with that person, and learn more about who he or she is and what needs are present. When you meet together, it's important that you explain our process using either that flow chart or a narrative presentation, which is also available on the website. Make sure that they have a chance to view the video, the introductory video about the Jobs Ministry, so that they can understand what it is that we're trying to do. It's very important that you communicate clearly to our clients what it is that we do. We are not human resources agency. We don't go and find people jobs. We help these folks find jobs. So that's what we do, and it's important that people be aware of that. As you move through that first meeting, it's good to use our screening interview worksheet, and that's just a simple sheet that lets you go through a few questions to understand what that person needs, and also to begin thinking about what resources we need to pull in to make our experience and their experience with us a success as they try to find work. As a part of that screening interview worksheet, you will identify needs, you will select resources, and those are people, select people, and connect those resources with the client. So you'll send an email or make a phone call to some of our resource volunteers and say, I met with Mr. Smith today. He needs help with resume writing and interview skills. Can you do that? And that resource volunteer will hopefully say, yes, I can do that within the week or maybe within 10 days, and I will make a phone call and set that up. So you don't make a phone call and set up those meetings. You instead connect our resources with the name and telephone number of the person who is working, the person whom we're working with whom we're working. I'll get it right in a minute. Another thing, and the next step, is to follow up regularly with both the client and the resources. It's important in the jobs ministry that our clients experience close follow-up, especially in the very beginning part of our process together. But also it's good for our resources to know that they aren't the only ones working with this particular client, and that there are other parts and pieces of this puzzle that are working together to make a successful experience for the client. And follow-up can be phone calls, emails, text messages sometimes are certainly appropriate and maybe easiest even for interaction between case manager and resources. After handing off resources, handing off two resources, and doing whatever necessary to follow up with those initial meetings, as case manager you want to make sure those initial meetings between client and resource volunteers actually take place in a reasonable amount of time. After that happens and training starts to take place, you transition to just a weekly follow-up phone call until that person finds work. And once Mr. Smith has met with 2 or 3 resource volunteers and feels like he has everything he needs from us, our presence then becomes just your weekly follow-up phone call until that person finds work. It may be that that person says, I had an interview and it went badly. Can I do another interview practice? Absolutely, yes. And so you as case manager would set up that contact between someone who can offer interview practice and the client. You may also offer prayers, invite to church, send cards, whatever feels right for a particular client. As with everything here at First Methodist Church, it's about love in the name of Jesus Christ, and that's what we offer. We're not overly religious about that, but people know that we love them and that we care for them when we have these interactions, and that's what's important. So feel free to let people know that you're praying for them, that you're hoping for the best. Send them a card, and if you invite them to church, by all means, offer to pick them up or to sit with them or whatever seems right so that they feel absolutely welcome here in this place. A couple of important statements that I wish we didn't have to make, but we do. You know the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And that's true with people too. There are times when we encounter clients who simply don't want to take action with what they've received for us, or don't want to receive our help. Maybe just simply aren't willing to move ahead in their job search. When that happens, sometimes we just have to kind of suspend our jobs ministry relationship with that person until they are ready to take action and to work with us to help them. That's okay. It's reality. It happens, and we need to be prepared for that. And you need to feel okay saying that to the leader or to me when working with a client, that this person just isn't willing to do what needs to be done. The second old saying, give a person a fish, and that person eats for a day. Teach a person to fish, and that person eats for a lifetime. We're here to teach people about the job search, about that part of the professional world where we have to go out and find work. And so we hope to teach them how to fish so that they can fish then for themselves and feel a confidence in doing that. I want to get all the key resource areas up on the screen. This is the same slide that you saw in the resource volunteer slideshow. But again, you folks need to have a global view of this. As you look on the screen, you see interview skills, skills assessment, resume building, networking, clothing, web resources, Stephen ministers, encouragement, mentoring, and helping connect with other ministries. These are the things that you'll find on that screening interview worksheet. These are the areas of help that we can offer to folks, and they're very wide-ranging, and it's important that you have a sense of the breadth of these resource areas, so that as you listen to the folks talk, you can help connect them with what help we can offer. Some basic guidelines about your work. Again, meet at a church or a public place. Never meet in someone's home. Only at your office or your place of work, if it's okay with your employer and if there are other people around. You don't ever want to be alone with folks. Stay focused on the mission of the Jobs Ministry. Some of the folks that we have who come through and become clients of the Jobs Ministry have many, many needs. We are not professional counselors. We're not relationship experts. We need to focus on what it is that we can do, which is help people find work. So don't hesitate to say, I'm just not equipped to handle that. If it's a serious need, such as an emotional problem or some kind of a crisis, call me, let me know, and we will get that person to the right resource in our community who can truly help with those kinds of problems. The reality is, a lot of times, I'm not equipped to handle some things that folks come in here and express and concerns that some folks have. So I do the same thing. I try to get them to the places where they can get the help that they need. Be encouraging. Above all else, be encouraging to these folks as they come through. They need our support and our love and our care, and they need to know that we believe in them. And so I want you to just hold that closely to be encouraging. The client does the work. You are a coach. The client does the work. You are a coach. If you're ever working with a particular client and you feel like you are doing all the work, raise your hand, call me, call the leader of our ministry, let us know that you feel that way, and let us help you talk through what's going on so that we can probably make some adjustments in how you're doing your work. Communicate much and often with both the client and the resource volunteers. We talked about that earlier, and I want to mention it again because it's really a core part of what we do. This communication is critical. This cross-communication between client and resource volunteers and you as the case manager is critical to the success of our clients. It's good to email a progress report to both the ministry leader and to the resource volunteers that you've pulled in for a particular client after your weekly check-ins. Now, this would be after the person has been with us for a week or two and they've received some help. Keep everyone in the loop so that they may be aware of what is going on and so that they might offer help or encouragement in different ways as they hear what our clients are doing. Let the leader know, or let me know, when you feel we've done all that we can with somebody or for somebody. That reality happens, and when it does, we need to be aware of it so we can suspend our work and move that person over into a pending file. Even if they haven't found work, we might just need to put them on hold until, if it's the case that they are not doing what they can, then we'll just wait until they feel like they're ready. We said the 3 contact rule earlier in the resource volunteer video, and I want to offer it again. If I try to contact someone 3 times over the course of a day or two and I don't hear back from them, I assume that the ball is in their court. And I don't feel guilty about that. That's just how it is. If you don't think you have a good phone number, then try an email or try to find a better phone number. But once we've made 3 good contacts and we don't get any response, we're going to have to just assume that that person is not quite ready for the jobs ministry, and again, we'll just put them on hold until we hear back from them or until you hear back from them. We said it earlier, I'll say it again, invite these folks to church with you if they don't have a church home. If they do, don't worry about that. But part of the support that we can give is a community of faith, and it's so critical. We're not going to beat them over the head with the Bible or be judgmental or say anything ugly about them if they don't want to go to church, but if they do, or if the opportunity presents itself, just let them know. hey, I'd love for you to come to church with me. I'd be glad to pick you up. I'd be glad to sit with you and make these folks feel welcome and at home here in this place. I want to continue with documents found on the church website, on the Jobs Ministry page of the church website. Some things that will be important to you as a case manager. First of all, the Jobs Ministry matrix, which we'll see shortly. There will be a list of resource volunteers for you to see at any time. There will be an introductory narrative about the Jobs Ministry that you may use in your initial interview or initial meeting with a client. Or you may choose to use the flowchart, which is, I think, a much more simple way of explaining our process. There will be a list of helpful online resources that we'll try to keep updated so that you can share that with your client and also have that for your own benefit as well. And then finally, we'll have the job bank. As we hear of job openings or that people are hiring in the area, we will have those on our website in a spreadsheet so that you may pull them up at any time and share that information with our folks who are coming through. That's going to be really important as we get rolling with this. Let me show you the Jobs Ministry matrix. It looks like this, and you may not can see it on your screen, but you can even now go to the website and download this and look at it on your computer. But basically, as a case manager, volunteer case manager, you will use this in your interview, and all of those resource areas that we have mentioned multiple times are listed here in the leftmost column. And then there are places for you to rank needs in order of need as observed by you and perceived by the client. So this is where you say the most important thing that my client needs is resume building. The second most important thing might be interview skills. That may be all your client needs, and that's fine. Just put 1 and 2 in those boxes and we'll press on. If your client needs other things, it's best to rank those in order as much as you can. If they're all top priority, then just put them all as a 1 and we'll go from there. The second or the third column here is work needed, and this is kind of to help guide our resource volunteers. If this is just kind of a minimal, I want to brush up my resume, I need a little help with interview skills, then that's just a 1 or a 2. If this is a person that's never been on a job interview before and doesn't even have a resume, that's a 10. And that lets us know that the resource volunteer is going to have to do some serious work with this person to help get them up to speed on what it is to go out and look for a job. As you begin to think about your client's needs, and you may not do this while you're sitting with the client, you may fill this out after you have finished your interview, you will pull from the resource volunteer list and try to pick folks that fit in the same industry, maybe folks who've had some experiences that you're aware of with these types of clients. There's a place for first choice and second choice, a place for notes for the resource volunteers, also other notes and comments for yourself. Once you complete this, this is just for you and for resource volunteers. It's not to be shared with other folks, not even with the client. And then after you finish it, we'll send this to the you will send this to the resource volunteer coordinator so that he or she may look at our list of resource volunteers and send this out. This will help us not overwork the same resource volunteers. We're going to have a point person who will look at your choices and try to send this along to the right resource volunteers to get these folks some help. They will forward this document, either a scan or if you've entered this information on your computer and saved it and sent it on to the resource volunteer coordinator. However you choose to do it, maybe you just drop it by their office or the church office and they pick it up later. Once they have this document, they will send it on to the resource volunteers that are needed for each resource area. And they'll copy you on that email so that you know who your team is for this particular client, and so that you can do that follow-up work that is so important to this process. So that's the needs matrix, very important. Again, that list of resource volunteers we'll keep updated on the website. The introductory narrative, the flowchart, those are just communication tools to be used with clients so they understand fully what we are doing. And then the list of helpful online resources, same thing, just a helpful item to have. We will be sending out a username and password for you so that you may log into this more private section of the Jobs Ministry website on our church website, because this information doesn't need to be available to the public. So we'll have that along to you by email, and you can begin to access all this information. That is all I have for case managers. I think this is a good way for all of us to be in ministry, and an exciting element of Jobs Ministry, and I look forward to hearing some great things as we move into the future with the Jobs Ministry. Thank you for your willingness to be a part of this.